Good day, everyone. I am Angel Cabe, your reporter for today's meeting with the topic Asian Regionalism. If you are not familiar with this topic, let me guide you to understand what is Asian Regionalism. By the end of the topic, you will be able to define what is Asian Regionalism. Second, identify factors affecting regionalism in Asia and understand how Asian nation deals with regionalism. What is Asian regionalism? Asian regionalism is based on many overlapping sub-regional organizations that cooperate to varying degrees in different areas and provide a solid backbone to connect markets and people. It is also the product of economic interaction, not a political planning. As a result of successful, outward-oriented growth strategies, Asian economies have grown not only richer but also closer together. Asian regionalism could bring huge benefits not just to Asia but to the world. It could help sustain the region's growth, underpin its stability, and, with the right policies, reduces inequality. Here are the factors affecting regionalism in Asia. It encourages the development of regionalism in Southeast Asia, wildness and poverty, the special problem of dual economies, illiteracy, disease, low standard of health and social unrest. This and many other problems are shared in common by the countries of Southeast Asia. They include the rise in regional income, the removal of trade barriers, and the advances in production and transportation technologies. How Asian nations deal with regionalism. In the early stages of Asia's economic takeoff, regional integration proceeded slowly. East Asian economies, in particular, focused on exporting to developed country markets rather than selling to each other. Initially, they specialized in simple, labor-intensive manufacturers. As the more advanced among them graduated to more sophisticated products, less developed economies filled the gap that they left behind. Asian economies are becoming closely intertwined. This is not because the region's development strategy has changed. It remains predominantly non-discriminatory and outward-oriented. Rather, independence is deepening because Asia's economies have grown large and prosperous enough to become important to each other, and because their patterns of production increasingly depend on the networks that span several Asian economies and evolve wide-ranging exchanges of parts and components among them. Asia is at the center of the development of such production networks because it has different transport and communication links, as well as policies geared to supporting trade. As these new production patterns tie Asian economies closer together, they also boost the international competitiveness of the region's firms. Most then used the crisis as an opportunity to pursue wide-ranging reforms in finance as well as in other areas of weakness that the crisis exposed. Asia emerged with a greater appreciation of its shared interests and the value of regional cooperation. Since the crisis, Asia has become not only more integrated but also more willing to pull together. ASEAN countries have been at the forefront of Asian regionalism, individually and collectively. The ASEAN framework provides an advanced model of international cooperation and a framework for exploring new integration strategies. ASEAN has also been active in expanding the scope of regional cooperation, initially through relations with dialogue partners, beginning with Japan in 1973 and now including Australia, Canada, the PRC, the EU, India, Republic of Korea, New Zealand, Russian Federation, and the US. More recently, ASEAN invited the PRC, Japan, and the Republic of Korea to develop the ASEAN Plus 3 group and at its 1998 summit. set up the East Asian Vision Group to make the case for East Asia moving from the region of nation to a bona fide regional community where collective efforts are made for peace, prosperity, and progress. An ambitious agenda for cooperation is emerging from this process, as discussed in the following section. Role of Asian regionalism in Asian countries. While Asian regionalism is primarily motivated by the desire to advance welfare in the region, it would not do so by detracting from development elsewhere. On the contrary, Asian regionalism can help to sustain global economic process at a time when other major regions are reaching economic maturity. How Asian regionalism helped Philippines. ASEAN is one of the cornerstones of the Philippines' foreign and trade policies. This is manifested in the Philippines' policy to promote a more peaceful, stable, and free Southeast Asia through the pursuit of different initiatives in the policy-making, economic, trading, and functional cooperation activities. Importance of regionalism. The regionalism concept encourages municipalities to look beyond their boundaries and recognize that working together towards the betterment of an entire area will ultimately prove beneficial to each locality within it. Regionalism encourages local governments to pool resources, talents, and efforts. Collaborating in this way creates more effective planning that all governments, both big and small, can participate in. It also creates a larger budget to deliver stronger results. Regionalism is important to you because it has been proven to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of local governments. More efficient government helps keep taxes and fees lower. Lastly, not every issue is better solved through a regional approach, and in fact, there are many instances where it just cannot work. Open regionalism promotes global trade liberalization, and sometimes closed regionalism often has led to economic warfare and sometimes to military conflict. Open regionalism, however, faces the problem of harmonizing the different economic policies in many countries. If there are positive effects, there are also negative effects. The positive effect is regionalism has a positive impact on competition and market expansion due to the effect of declining costs, leading to the existing supply of cheaper goods. While the negative effect is it can have but any deflection of trade when the original cheaper foreign imports are replaced by more expensive domestic production. Benefits of ASEAN regionalism in the Philippines. First, lower cost living. The ASEAN Economic Community wants to eliminate, if not lessen, the taxes exporting between countries, which will lower the prices of goods. Second, improve job opportunities and general well-being. The exchange of free information and skills is essential to the development of the ASEAN Charter. Nationals can work abroad, increasing productivity, thus more job opportunities for the overseas Filipino workers. Third, less hassle in traveling. ASEAN integration has made it possible to travel to other countries, and in the process tourism has grown exponentially. Last is Philippines prosperity. With the full integration of the ASEAN countries, investments, services, job skills, and free market would enable the Philippines to have economic prosperity, and the benefits will eventually trickle down to citizens' benefit.